This is quadratic form, but what the quadratic form has standard or vertex form. Is this standard or vertex? Standard. This is standard form. The one you watched in the problem of the day was vertex form, okay? So this is standard form. Now, what is step one anytime we're trying to, because the instructions here are we are trying to graph this, right? Mm-hmm. What is step one if what we are trying to do is graph this? Find the vertex. Anytime you're trying to graph a quadratic equation, whether it's in standard form or vertex form, step one is to find the vertex, okay? So the vertex is x equals negative b over 2a. That's the axis of symmetry. And that'll give you, your vertex is an ordered pair. That'll give you the x value, right? So let's do that. What is b in this case? 3. So I have x equals negative 3 over 2 times a, which is 1. So x equals negative 1.5. Negative 1.5. And now we need to find the y value, don't we? In order for us to find the y value of the vertex, what do? We plug this x right here, negative 1.5, in for x here and here to get our y out, don't we? Mm-hmm. And so I've got y equals, and then my x value is negative 1.5 all squared plus 3 times negative 1.5 minus 1. You see what I did is I plugged negative 1.5 in for x in the original equation. Now where did I get negative 1.5? From the formula negative b over 2a, right? And what is negative b over 2a? The axis of symmetry. It's the axis of symmetry. To the left and to the right of that axis, the graph's going to look exactly the same. So I've got y equals negative 1.5 squared is what? 2.25? Minus 4.5 minus 1. So y equals, is it negative 3.25? Is that right? Yes. So I've got negative 3.25. So this right here, this point is my what? Vertex. So remember, step one is to calculate the vertex. Did we calculate the vertex? Yeah. And so now step two is to make a what? A t-chart. And I need to plug what? 2 values to the left of the vertex and 2 values to the right of the vertex. So the vertex is at negative 1.5. So negative 2 is to the left and negative 3 is to the left of it. Okay, now let's think of 2 numbers to the right. Well, how about 0 and 1? Those are to the right of negative 1.5, right? So I'm looking at negative 1.5 and I say, here are 2 values to the left of negative 1.5 right here. And here are 2 values to the what? Right. And so now I need to know when I plug negative 2 into the equation, what's my output? And when I plug negative 3 into the equation, what's my output? Okay? Now what you can do is you can go in your calculator to y equals. Everybody go to y equals right now and put the equation in for y equals. All right, so once you get the equation in, if you press second table, it'll tell you all the outputs. What does it say the output is when you put negative 2 in? Negative 3. And when you put in negative 3, what do you get? Negative 1. When you put 0 in, you also get negative 1. And when you put 1 in, what do you get? So there are your inputs and your outputs in this table right here. Remember, right? Let me review. First thing we did was we calculated the vertex. No matter what, if we're solving a quadratic, we calculate the what? Vertex. And then we plugged in 2 numbers to the left and 2 numbers to the right. And now what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go graph the vertex on a coordinate plane and these 4 points on a coordinate plane, and I'll be done. Okay? Okay, so what you see on the board is you see the vertex right here, and you see my values that I plugged into the t-chart. So let's graph them. Negative 1.5, negative 3.25 is negative 3 is like right here. Would you agree? Okay, and then negative 2, negative 3 is right there. And negative 3, negative 1 is there. And 0, -1 is there. And -1, -3 is like right there. Oops, right there. Okay, so now all I have to do is kind of connect them. My graph should look like a what? A parabola, a U shape, right? Don't draw a V, okay? So now you can see right there I've got my parabola, right? I'm done.